It has long been a land shrouded in Maori legends, where the spirits of ancestors live in the whisper of the wind and the lapping of the waves. A land discovered by brave sailors who brought new stories and traditions here. New Zealand is not only incredible landscapes, but also a rich cultural heritage waiting to be explored. Discover the heart of this amazing country with us. New Zealand is one of the last large lands on the planet to be settled by humans. Compared to the history of civilizations in Europe, Asia, or even Australia, the history of human presence here is relatively short. The first settlers, Polynesians, who became known as Maori, arrived here only about 700 to 800 years ago, around the 13th century AD. They accomplished incredible navigational feats, traveling vast distances in their waka, canoes. For Europeans, New Zealand was discovered by the Dutch navigator Abel Tasman only in 1642. However, the first attempts at colonization began much later, in the 18th century, with the arrival of James Cook and the subsequent activity of European settlers. In 1840, the Treaty of Waitangi was signed between the British Crown and the Maori leaders, which is considered the beginning of the formation of the modern New Zealand nation. In the southwestern part of the South Island lies Fjordland National Park, a land of majestic fjords, sheer cliffs, cascading waterfalls and ancient rainforests. Milford Sound and Doubtful Sound are just two of the many stunning fjords formed by glaciers millions of years ago. In the heart of the North Island is New Zealand's oldest national park, known for its spectacular volcanic landscapes. The three active volcanoes are Ruapehu, Goruho, and Tongariro. It is also home to the famous Tongariro Alpine Crossing trekking route, which is considered one of the best one-day hikes in the world. Another natural wonder of the North Island is hidden underground, the Waitomo Caves, known for their thousands of fireflies, Arachnicampa luminosa, which create a magical glow reminiscent of the starry sky. Wellington, the capital of New Zealand, is a dynamic and charming city located on the southern tip of the North Island, washed by the waters of the Cook Strait. Wellington is the political heart of New Zealand. It is home to the Parliament building, including the famous Beehive, government offices and foreign embassies. Although Wellington is a political and cultural center, its economy is also quite developed. It is home to the public administration, finance, information technology, and creative industries. The city has a reputation as an innovation center with a developed startup ecosystem. Special atmosphere. The city has a youthful and energetic atmosphere due to the large number of students and young professionals. The city is famous for its coffee shops, restaurants and bars where you can enjoy great food and drinks. The coffee culture is very developed here. One of Wellington's trademarks is its cable car, Wellington Cable Car, which connects the central part of the city with the Kelburn district, offering magnificent panoramic views. New Zealand is one of the few large island nations in the world that is completely devoid of land snakes that are native species. This means that no snake species has evolved and naturally spread throughout the country. Why did this happen? The main reason lies in the geographical isolation of New Zealand. It split off from the ancient supercontinent Gondwana about 80 million years ago, long before snakes spread to many other lands. Since New Zealand developed in isolation for a long time, its fauna was formed in a unique way, without this group of reptiles. The culture of the Maori people, which we mentioned at the beginning of this video, is a rich and deep heritage of the first settlers of New Zealand, which still plays an important role in the country's identity. The Maori worldview is deeply connected with nature and ancestors. They believe in mana, a spiritual power or prestige that can be transmitted through ancestors, objects, and actions. Tapu are sacred or forbidden things or actions that require special respect and care. Maori are famous for their skillful carvings in wood, bone, and stone. These pieces often have a deep symbolic meaning, telling stories of ancestors, myths, and legends. Traditional patterns such as the cornu, spiral, manjiko, shark teeth, and pikoru, fern shoot, are recognizable elements of Maori art. Maori culture is not a frozen phenomenon of the past. It is dynamically developing and plays an important role in the modern New Zealand society. Maori art inspires contemporary artists, the language is taught in schools, and traditional values influence social and political processes. Waitangi Day, February 6th, is a national holiday dedicated to the signing of a historic treaty. The kiwi is a flightless bird that is endemic to New Zealand, meaning it is found only in the wild there. There are 5 species of kiwi that differ in size, color, and habitat. Kiwis are predominantly nocturnal, which makes them quite difficult to observe in the wild. They have a very keen sense of smell, which they use to find food such as insects, worms, berries, and seeds. Female kiwis lay one of the largest eggs relative to body size of any bird in the world. An egg can be up to 20% of a female's weight. Kiwis live quite long. Some species can live up to 50 years or more. Images of kiwis can be seen everywhere in New Zealand, on coins, postage stamps, company logos, and sports teams. New Zealanders are also affectionately called Kiwis. Unfortunately, the kiwi population is under threat due to habitat loss, introduced predators, such as cats, dogs, ferrets, and ermines, and other factors. Therefore, there are many kiwi conservation programs in New Zealand aimed at protecting their habitats and fighting predators. Many New Zealanders are actively involved in these efforts. For the indigenous Maori people, kiwi is a tauna, a treasure that has spiritual and cultural significance. New Zealand has become a real home for Middle-earth thanks to the filming of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Here are some interesting facts. Hobbiton. The Hobbit village was built in the Waikato region, near the city of Matamata. This place still exists as a tourist attraction where you can see hobbit holes, the Green Dragon Tavern, and even drink ale like a real hobbit. Mount Ngoroho. It became known as Mount Doom in the movies. It is part of the Tongariro National Park, and tourists can take a route that is reminiscent of Frodo and Sam's journey to Mordor. Milford Sound Fjords. These picturesque places were used to film scenes from Rivendell, the magical home of the elves. Kawarau Gorge. It became the Anjouan River in the movies. Here you can see the places where scenes with giant Argonaut statues were filmed. Mount Olympus. This location in the Kahurangi National Park was home to many scenes from the Fellowship of the Ring. New Zealand is a real paradise for thrill seekers. No wonder it is called the world capital of adventure. The variety of landscapes, from steep mountains to raging rivers and deep canyons, creates ideal conditions for a wide variety of extreme sports. New Zealand is the birthplace of commercial bungee jumping. It was here, on the Kawarau Bridge near Queenstown, that the first commercial jump took place in 1988. The turbulent rivers of New Zealand with crystal clear water are ideal for rafting of various levels of difficulty, from calm family rafting to extreme descents through Class V rapids. There are even unique types of rafting, such as black water rafting in the Waitomo Caves, where you raft down underground rivers on inflatable chambers in the dark, lit only by fireflies. This New Zealand-invented extreme sport offers an incredible sense of speed and maneuverability on special jet boats that can navigate shallow water and narrow canyons. Breathtaking views of New Zealand from a bird's-eye view are an unforgettable experience. Paragliding and skydiving are very popular in many picturesque places. Although hiking itself is not always considered an extreme sport, some routes in New Zealand are a real test of endurance and may include difficult sections, steep climbs, and unpredictable weather conditions. Thank you for watching this video about the incredible New Zealand to the end. I hope you enjoyed this virtual journey. If you have any questions or have your own impressions, be sure to share them in the comments. I will be very interested to read them. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss new exciting videos about travel and other interesting places on our planet. See you soon.